Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm going to be talking over stuff and sort of explaining shit as I go. Today we're going to fix this rear fender here. I bought a new tire, this Shinko tire, and it doesn't fit with how I've mounted up my old fender. And actually the old fender was rubbing on my original tire. So yeah, I put the new tire on, or got the new tire on, mounted everything up, totally didn't fit. So here we are taking it off very slowly. There we go. That's a good spot for it. And, oh, okay, new shot. We are now, I think everything's off, and we're now going to do some testing here. And I will illustrate here, hopefully. There we go. Just how close it is. So you can see the upper fender mount right there, right behind all the electronics, and it's like a ½ inch away from the tire. And then the lower one right there, not as bad, and actually I ended up not having to do anything on the lower mount. I could just run it as is. I just took the spacer out of there, so that was nice. And then the Sissy Bar did not line up at all. So there's the upper mount. Yeah, look how close that shit is. You could barely, I mean, if you had like fat fingers, you wouldn't be able to fit them through. And the lower mount was good. So we're all macaroni there. Shout out lowbrow. I love my lowbrow hardtail. Okay, yeah, some grinding here. This is probably gonna get loud and annoying. I'm not even sure. Should I keep this type of footage in there? It's so loud. But yeah, look at it. Look at me go. Slicing off the original mount. Nothing too fantastic here. Maybe we'll speed it up a bit. This right here, this is like so satisfying when you can just whack something off like that after you've been grinding on it, and it just comes out real clean and nice. Gotta love that. All right, come on now. There's a hole there and a helicoil in there, so that's what's getting stuck right there. You can sort of see it. That was where all the grounds for the bike were mounted, so that's why it kind of fought me a little bit. Oh, great. More grinder footage. Let's go, dude. Yep, okay, all right. Not bad, looking good there, buddy. Okay, on to the rear, or the fender, the only fender on the bike, the rear one. I think I was just grinding the pre-existing bungs down that were sticking inside of the fender. I never really did that when I first built the bike, so just kind of an attempt to get as much clearance as possible, and then just clean up some of the welds. Now that the bike is on the road and I've been riding around, I've been slowly kind of chipping away at that was enough of that. I forget exactly what's going on here. Okay, so I think I've got the lower mount figured out. No spacer, and this was attempt number 1 at the upper spacer, which didn't work out. So I left the first attempt in, just to show kind of, I don't know, whatever. Sometimes it doesn't work out and you got to try again, I guess. Yeah, still, we're gonna have to speed this up a little bit. There we go. So, got the original mount, kind of eyeballing where it needs to be cut. Again, this was the attempt number 1. Oh, I'm also wearing a hat. Interesting. This initial attempt didn't work. And, yeah, I had to kind of plan it out. But anyway, more grinder footage. That's what you're all here for, right? Here we go. Okay, into the meat and potatoes of things. Looking good there. It looks good, but it still didn't fit right. and I wanted just a little bit more clearance. So as close as this was in the ballpark, but not quite there, which at the time I didn't realize. So I just kept going with it. Yeah, looking a little better there. There's my super accurate measuring banana. Pretty much like the easiest way to find center on anything is with this tool here. Look at that precision work here, precision craftsmanship. Bullseye, dude. And yeah, I think I'm gonna throw a little tackaroo on here and then realize it's not gonna work. So let's see this. Fast forward quite a bit. I didn't record any of the dismantling of that previous one. Here's the new attempt. This is what I'm currently running. This was the final version. I needed more space, so the fender had to be closer to that bar on the frame. Yep, more grinder footage. Yes. Oh, there's Pixie, my sweet girl. I see you, baby. You're on the big screen. Because this would be a good time as ever to say like and subscribe. If not me, then do it for my dog. So thank you. All right, this is attempt number 2 with the second bracket that I made using the scraps from the original bracket and some, yeah. This thing was a lot flatter, which this angle is not showing. But essentially it brought that fender a lot closer to the front of the bike, which also moved this seat closer. Here we go. There's the bearskin seat, the bear fur seat, which pushed it forward like 2, maybe 3 inches. And honestly, the bike's like so much more comfortable now too. Oh, you can see the gap. Yeah, you can see the light piercing through. You could easily like roll a golf ball between the tire and the fender now. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a lot of gap. Okay, there we go. There's the second fender mount. Going in for the kill shot. Boom! Let's go, dude. Not really. Okay. So yeah, you can see tons of light peering through. You could like, again, roll a golf ball through it or stick your hand through it if you have small hands like I do. Yeah, throwing up the second tack. Looks good there, bud. Okay, on to the Sissy Bar. So the lower mounts on this bad boy had to be redone since the fender was a lot further away. So this was just a lot of cutting and grinding. Yep, there we go. That's a smart move. Let's just sliced off the old mounts, and there it is. Here are some new ones. I just took 2 smaller, thinner tabs and welded them together. There you can kind of see. And then what I do is notch the tabs and weld them up. Notch them and bend them a little bit, and then bolt it all together here, and then weld it up. So, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna go through that process here. So we're reattaching the Sissy Bar. I actually had to flip the Sissy Bar around, so the eagle-eyed viewers would notice that the Sissy Bar is now flipped the other way. Luckily, the upper mounts could work that way, which is really great. And then I had the license plate thing removable, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, you can also see the lower tabs. They still need to be bent. They still need to be notched. But this was just kind of getting an idea how much I need to take off. Perfect. Yep. This is pretty much like 90% of what I cut out of the footage when I'm editing the videos is shit like that. Well done, bud. So we bent them up, used a little heat, which probably honestly wasn't even necessary, but whatever. It's fun to bust out the torch. And nope. Okay. Notching them, it looks like. Yep. If you're like me and you don't have a lot of tools, there's not really a good way to do this. You just fucking do it with your grinder and move on. There we go. So the tabs are notched, they're bent. Everything's lined up for the most part. Good enough. Oof. Major gap to have to fill there. That's okay. Gonna fill it. All right, more welding footage. This is good stuff here. Oh, I should mention, this was a really dumb idea. I didn't cover that disc brake, and I got a lot of like sparks and shit on the disc, and a lot of like slag or whatever that's stuck to it. So, word to the wise, cover that disc. Even if you don't think you need to, you probably should. This side didn't seem to have a problem, the driveline side. Oop, okay, all right, there we go. Tacked up, looking okay, looking good enough, I would say. Tons of gap. Tacked up on this side. Oof, big gap to fill. Again, cover that disc. I should have done that, and I didn't. Another testaroo with the seat. It's always a good idea to test things as you go. This was an extremely windy day in Tahoe, so you can see all the dust and the shit blowing around on camera here. Here we are. Yeah. Get on there, cowboy. This was when I realized, oh shit, it's like 2 or 3 inches closer, and that's so much more comfortable for my short ass arms. Oh, okay, yeah. Here's where I fucked my disc up really bad, is doing this here. You can see. What are you gonna do? And here we are. Okay, final product, finished product. I still haven't cleaned these welds up, but they're on there. At least the front sides of the welds. There, you might be able to see where the disc has taken on some of the weld splatter. Everything's looking good. Plenty of space. Pushed the seat where it needs to be. Plenty of clearance for the tire. Here we are doing the final weld on the upper fender mount. The middle, I don't know, whatever. The middle fender mount, I don't know. There it is. That hole, I ended up welding a bung in there and using that for the grounds for the bike. And then the only other thing that was left for this was a bung for the seat. The seat had a new position, so it needed a new bung. And luckily it was further back on the fender, so the old mounting position was hidden, or is hidden, under the seat. So here we go. This is always smart. If you drill with your tire underneath, that way it'll hit your tire and not anything else. Yeah, just like that. Good work there, bud. So, pretty sure I didn't film the rest of this, but all I did was pop in a little bung and weld it in for the seat, and that was that. So, this has kind of been a different approach to these sort of whatever videos, these like technical kind of videos or whatever. If you're into this, let me know. Drop a comment if you think it's really stupid, if you think it's great. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to switch things up, seeing if anything. I'm throwing spaghetti at the walls and seeing what sticks. And I would appreciate your feedback. I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for being, yeah, all right, cool. All right, bye.